Welcome to Scrolling to Death. Today is a solo episode with me, Nikki, to talk about gaming. I recently posted on Instagram about a 15-year-old boy in Houston, Texas. He was being cyberbullied and encouraged to kill himself on Discord while also playing an online game. And for those of you who don't know, Discord is one of the most popular ways that gamers communicate online. So users can chat through voice or video or text while they're gaming. So this boy in Texas followed through with a suicide, with his gaming headset still on and his computer still online. The cyberbully was another 15-year-old boy in Michigan who has been charged with a felony for aiding suicide and a misdemeanor charge for harassment causing death, and he was sentenced to 3 years probation. The purpose of me posting this story to Instagram was to spread awareness of how bad cyberbullying can get, especially for teenagers who are highly sensitive to peer feedback and extremely impulsive. And I simply reminded parents to be cautious when allowing your children to access online gaming communities and chat areas like Discord. So as of today, January 5th, this Instagram post has 2,556 comments. These past few days, I spent time reading through as many of these comments as possible, and I am literally shook, as the kids say. The things that these people are saying in response to this story of a child who died by suicide are shocking. I'd estimate that over half the comments, so over 1,000, are saying things like, quote, "Bro, just take the headset off and go for a nice walk." Or, quote, "Bro didn't mute the server," with a skeleton face emoji. Or, quote, "Womp womp, turn off the computer." And that comment has 8,700 likes on it. Another kid commented, "Bro, just delete Discord." That one has 1,800 likes on it. Another person commented, quote, "Just get better at the game. It's not that hard." Another person commented, "Kids are soft AF these days." And another comment, quote, "It's the kid's own fault. You can just leave or block people. You don't kill yourself because someone is mean to you online. That's basically what the internet is." Is that what the internet is? Is suicide baiting on the internet normal? Is this just what's to be expected in online gaming communities, encouraging people to kill themselves? Because if communicating on the internet equals cyberbullying and suicide baiting, then that's a no for me. My kids aren't getting access to these communities. After reviewing these thousands of comments on this Instagram video, what I'm seeing has led me to a few conclusions. I'll start by describing the group of people who are commenting on this post. They seem to be nearly all adolescent males, and I'm judging by the usernames and the profile photos. And they seem to be gamers. They're defensive. They don't want anyone to blame gaming for someone being harmed, and I assume a lot of that has to do with they're gamers. They don't want their game taken away, but I'll get into some stats like that in a moment. So here's the trends that I'm seeing in this group of young male gamers. There is a giant lack of empathy. They're willing to publicly shame a person who just died and the family who are suffering. They don't seem to have any awareness that there are people that are hurting, like lots of people. This isn't the only kid who has taken his life due to cyberbullying. One commenter said, quote, "If your kid can't handle a bit of cyberbullying, he shouldn't be around." Are you kidding me? Another commenter said, and this was commented a ton of times, quote, "Sounds like natural selection at its best." I'm sort of speechless. Another observation about this group is there seems to be a normalization of violence or a confusion between simulated violence in a game and real life violence. So much so that the news of a suicide or a death is just part of their normal existence. In researching popular games that are being played, there's tons of killing of people and animals, use of drugs and alcohol, there's criminal behavior, sexual exploitation, racial, sexual, and gender stereotypes, and obviously foul language, obscene gestures. Kids are being inundated with this type of inappropriate and violent content within the games, and it's numbed them to it. There are comments on this post like, quote, "Oh my God, who the hell cares?" And there are hundreds and hundreds of comments saying womp womp, which is a comment on something bad that's happened, but in a humorous way, like to make light of it or make fun of it. It's like these people are living in a different world, a virtual world, some would say. Lastly, this group seems to think that cyberbullying and suicide baiting and simply being hateful online is just normal. It's just part of life when you spend time online. And this makes me really sad. That wasn't the point of connecting with people online through gaming and social media. It was to connect with people who have similar interests. It should not be normal to hurt someone. It should not be a normal part of your day to see another person being harmed. So overall, in reviewing these comments on this post, I feel an overall sadness and lack of hope in the younger generation and where we're moving. Honestly, I feel a little traumatized by reading through them. It's not something that I like to see, people being hateful to one another. But I think it's important to know where our adolescents are spending their time and the things that they're exposed to. So one note on suicide, obviously when someone dies by suicide, there are many, many factors. You can't blame one thing, the cyberbully or the game itself or the online chat room or the social media platform or the parenting, which a lot of people are doing in the comments. It's a systemic problem in teens everywhere. And what we do know is that the suicide rate in teens is skyrocketing. Teens are more depressed than ever. They're thinking about suicide more than ever, and they're following through with suicide more than ever. They're also online more than ever. They're on social media more than ever, and they're gaming more than ever. For me, there are connections in the way teens are spending their time and these negative mental health outcomes and deaths. So in thinking about gaming, I wondered how many kids are playing games at home. I found a study by the NIH that found that over 90% of children older than 2 years old are playing video games. Children ages 8 through 17 spend an average of 1.5 to 2 hours every day playing video games. And nearly 10%, 1 in 10 children and teens under 18 around the world may be addicted to gaming. I looked into some more research around how does gaming affect kids. Let's look at the bad stuff first. Studies of children exposed to violent media have shown that they become immune or numb to violence. We saw that in the comments on my Instagram post. They may imitate violence and show more aggressive behavior. And younger children are more influenced by violent images. Regular gaming, this makes sense, promotes social isolation and antisocial behavior. When they're spending a lot of time gaming, they're spending less time doing other activities like reading and sports, interacting with family and friends face to face, things that they need to be doing for their physical development and their mental development. A study found that young people who play more than 2 hours of violent games every day had more depression symptoms than other kids who play non-violent video games. And we probably all understand that gaming contributes to poorer sleep. And when kids aren't getting good sleep, it affects their longer-term health outcomes. Conversely, there are also some early studies showing some benefit to gaming. So one study by the Journal of the American Medical Association found that video games can have a positive effect on children, including better performance on cognitive skills tests, which involve impulse control and working memory. Some games can help improve hand-eye coordination. Sure, so can sports. In moderation, playing age-appropriate games can be enjoyable and a healthy activity, and playing video games as a family can be a great bonding activity. My feeling, though, is that the minor positive effects of gaming are outweighed by the more serious, long-lasting negative effects of gaming and exposure to cyberbullying. There's a difference between playing Mario Kart with your dad and then logging into a violent online game where you're communicating with people all around the country who may be older than you, who may be predators, who may be cyberbullying you. I encourage parents to think critically about their decision to introduce gaming into their family. For parents who are going to allow gaming in the home, I put together a few tips to help avoid problem areas. So number one is delay. Avoid video games in preschool age children and even into elementary school. In the younger ages, aim for group play where you're monitoring them and playing with them. It's important to know about game ratings. So games receive a rating called ESRB, which stands for Entertainment Software Ratings Board. Check the game ratings and select appropriate games for your kid's age. The ratings are everyone 10 plus, teen, mature 17 plus, and adults only, AO. AO games can include pornographic and sexual content. Please set clear rules about gaming in the home and also outside the home if they're at friends' houses. Set time limits. Allow gaming only in public areas of the home and not in the child's bedroom. Parents need to be aware that in many games, users can interact with others, which can expose children to other people who may not be in their age group. So monitor these online interactions if you're going to let them communicate with other people in the game. Warn them about stranger danger. Warn them that people may not be who they say they are. Be aware that some games allow for in-game purchases with either real-world money or virtual money. So make sure you understand what your child has access to when it comes to purchasing things within the game. I also learned that some games actually include the ability to display the user's location to others in the app. I just recommend turning this off. There's no reason for other people within a game to know where your kid is at. And some games even include unrestricted access to the internet, so they may have a search engine or a browser within the game. Understand if this is something that's available within the games your children are playing. Most importantly, if your children are going to be gaming, and this is true of anything your child is doing digitally, talk to your child about their experience regularly, like daily. Ask them what they like about it. Ask them if they saw anything weird or concerning. Ask them who they're talking to on there. Remind them that they can come to you with any concerns and anything that's bothering them about their gaming experience, and that you won't punish them by taking the game away. The number one reason that kids and teens don't come to their parents when something concerns them online is because they're afraid that their game is going to be taken away or their phone is going to be taken away. So ensure them that you're on their team and that you're going to work through whatever issue it is together. Thank you for listening to today's mini episode about kids and gaming. If you have any specific questions or topics you'd like me to cover, please reach out. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at scrolling2death with a number 2 for daily clips and updates on what's going on in the world of social media, screens, and kids. I'll catch you next time here on Scrolling to Death.